Greetings, Richard Fulmer here, and welcome to another Richard's Rock Rambles Hidden Gems episode. So the band we're going to chat about today, if you'd have said to me that the three guys in this band were going to get together and form a band, I would have said, no, that's not going to happen, because this was one of the weirdest combinations ever, but it kind of worked. Unfortunately, thus far, there's only been the one album, so it is a real hidden gem, or an overlooked album perhaps. But wow, what a statement these guys made. So what am I waffling on about? I'm waffling on about the band Them Crooked Vultures. You can see I have a t-shirt here. This is from the 2010 concert, very kindly sent to me by a friend of mine, the late Paul Knott. And he decided to send me this, plus the program, etc. And I think this was done for that concert. It was a charity fun concert. And Them Crooked Vultures. Album was just self-titled. Before I go any further, I must thank my very good friend Werner Steinberg for suggesting this one in the Hidden Gems section. I'd completely forgotten about this album, and it's a perfect album to chat about. So let's get on with that. So when was this recorded? It was recorded between January and August 2009, so not that long ago, and it was released in November of that year, November the 16th, in the Pink Duck Studios in Burbank, California, and it was produced by the band. Now, when you hear who's in the band, you'll see why they've did the production themselves. There was some serious expertise in this band, experience, in particular the one gentleman. So who's in the band? Josh Homme, that name should ring a bell. Queens of the Stone Age, Caius, and I think he's also been with that band called Eagles of Death Metal. I think he was in that band as well. So he was there on vocals, guitar, and production. So he was involved with the production as well. Very unique vocal style, different kind of voice. Takes a while to get used to, but this album I certainly got used to it. Then there was Dave Grohl on drums, percussion, backing vocals, and production as well. Dave Grohl, of course, originally with the band Nirvana. He's now also the leader of the Foo Fighters. He's also released a couple of solo albums. I think there was one called Probot, where there were a whole bunch of guest artists, including, I think, Lemmy from Motorhead. So he was there. And the third member is the one that caught my eye. None other than John Paul Jones. Yes, Led Zeppelin's bassist, keyboardist, mandolin player, production guy, arranger, you name it, he can do it. He was in the band. And when you listen to this album, certain tracks, you can see Zeppelin all over it. It's stamped all over it. As well as the other two guys bringing their own sound. But for me, a lot of these tracks harken back to days of presence of Led Zeppelin, some of the drumming especially. In fact, for me, I don't think I've heard Dave Grohl do anything better on Behind a Drum Kit than with this album, with this band. He really shone, and he could show what he could do behind a kit. I mean, these days he's frontman for Foo Fighters. He's with a guitar. He doesn't do much drumming. Although now with Taylor Hawkins gone, I'm not too sure. I'm probably going to get somebody else to fill in that seat. But yeah, excellent drumming. Josh Homme's guitar work is very strange. It's not widdly shredding. It's just more of a rhythm-based thing that he has going. But I like some of the shades and the different styles that he puts into the songs. And then, of course, John Paul Jones is the ultimate bass player, keyboardist. And as you'll see just now, let's see what he plays on here. John Paul Jones is on bass, keyboards, piano, clavinet, Optigan, and I had to look that up. An Optigan is a kind of keyboard, a small keyboard with sort of built-in sounds, mandolin, backing vocals, and of course production. So yeah, master of all trades, and he knows his way around the production line. And I mean, when he was with Zeppelin, he used to play mandolin, he used to play that three-necked acoustic guitar, keyboards, of course, and obviously he was. I don't think he did much in the way of vocals with Led Zeppelin, so this would have been a first as well, I think. Although his solo stuff's obviously got him singing. So who was in the band? So let me show you what this album looks like. I love that cover. There's the Vulture, and at the back you got a telephone box, and there's quite a few tracks on here. There's 13 tracks all in all, produced by the band, and it's got a really weird mix of styles on here. like I said, there's a bit of Zeppelin, a bit of Queens of the Stone Age, some Nirvana perhaps. Excuse me, I just want to wet my whistle. Cheers, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's been a beautiful day here in Cape Town. Slowly but surely inching our way towards spring. And it can't come quick enough because I'm tired of the cold weather now. Anyway, so that's the cover. There's not much to show you inside. There's just a bus, a red bus, English bus, and there's the three crooked vultures, well, the three heads. And inside, it's just really the lyrics along with a few pictures of vultures. There's another one with a baseball bat, looking kind of violent. So it's pretty much just the vocals, which are really out there. I mean, there's some strange songs on this album, but it's quirky, but it works. I just love the difference of this album. It's not your run-of-the-mill album. It's very hard to put in a particular genre or pigeonhole it. It's all over the place, but done expertly. There we go. Reptiles is another track. So let's get to the tracks. This is a kind of album that it's pointless me explaining each track for you. What you need to do is listen to this because you're going to make up your own mind. You'll either love it or you'll hate it. When I first listened to this album, it took me a while to get into it, but it sort of grabs hold of you and you listen to it again and again. And every time you listen to it, you hear something new that you hadn't heard the first time. The first track is called No One Loves Me and Neither Do I. Love that. That track, in the beginning, it's a little, then right towards the end, there's a kind of a break, and then there's this monster riff that comes in, and that's where the Zeppelin comes in. It reminds me of a track, I think it's called Wearing and Tearing of Led Zeppelin. Really aggressive style, maybe a little slower on in this particular track, but you can hear the Zeppelin influence. And like I said, Dave Grohl's drumming is immense. Mind Eraser, No Chaser, that's the next one. Great lyrics. Interesting guitar work from Josh Homme. And his vocals really work well on this album. Then there's a track called New Fang, Dead End Friends. Really strange time changes as well. Almost prog elements to this album. Elephants, that's another great track. Scumbag Blues. Bandoliers, that's it. Probably after No One Loves Me and Neither Do I think Bandoliers is probably my favorite track on here. High-pitched vocals, then you can drop it. Songs all over the place. Interesting. There's nothing boring about this album. Reptiles, Interlude with Ludes, Quaaludes, obviously, drugs. Warsaw, or The First Breath You Take After You Give Up. How's that for a song title? Caligulove, obviously Caligula, the Emperor Caligula, Caligulove. Also a great track on here with some interesting time changes and good lyrics as well. Gunman, and the last track, 13 tracks all in all, the last one, Spinning in Daffodils. Yeah, like I said, this you've got to give your own 2 cents worth for. You've got to listen to it yourself. But trust me, it's not boring. And I specifically wanted to listen to this for the John Paul Jones, because as you know, I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan. And I just thought, how's he going to work with these other 2 guys? Because they come from a different era, totally different music to Led Zeppelin. Parts of Nirvana, I suppose, could have been, the heaviness could have been like Zeppelin, Queens of the Stone Age also. So I just wanted to see how well they worked together. And they worked really great. Great album. Unfortunately, just the one, like I said, I think they did this tour was a 2009 tour, 2010 tour. And they did a few other dates in the States. And then that was it. Dave Grohl went back to Foo Fighters, and Josh Homme had other things on. I'm not too sure what John Paul Jones is up to these days, but he's a man he's done opera albums and he's done all sorts of stuff. So hopefully one day the 3 of them will get back together and release another album. And if it's anything like this one, I'll get it definitely. So there we go. Let me show you one last time. Them Crooked Vultures. If you haven't heard it yet, do yourselves a favor and check it out. Have yourselves a great week. Please down below, if you haven't yet, subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, or a thumbs down if you didn't enjoy the video, whatever. Any comments, more than welcome. Love to hear from you guys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.